Hello, and welcome back to the dark side of astrology. My name is Onita, and today I would like to take the time to talk about twin souls and what it is to have tolerance and compassion for your counterpart. So, it's been a while since I've done a twin soul video. I think the last one I did was about the heart chakra. So it's fitting that I do now a video about tolerance and compassion when it comes to twin souls. So in my last video, I talked a lot about working, through your heart chakra, and about how there is the upper heart chakra too above your heart chakra. So your heart chakra is, kind of like right here in the middle of your chest type of thing, and then there's the upper heart chakra that I guess would be like around here, and the upper heart chakra is when you actually start living in compassion and in tolerance, but more so in compassion, because compassion is tolerance. That is the end goal of tolerance. You want to be compassionate, you want to try to understand the reason why people, and especially your counterpart, do the things that they do. So for me, for example, I had to learn patience throughout my life, and it was a hard lesson to learn. Really, didn't really appreciate it as a younger person. I used to think it was very much a vice, because patience was just like, if I want things done right now, why can't I do it right now type of thing. Having to wait, it never really dawned on me. I didn't really comprehend at the time that waiting is actually something that's a really good thing for you as a person, because it helps you grow, it helps you build that patience, and you learn to appreciate what you're waiting for even more so, instead of getting it at the moment and perhaps just playing with it for a little bit and then just throwing it out, type of thing, like us fire signs tend to do. But, now that I have this, I have built my patience up a lot. I also am a mother to a Virgo child who's, I believe that she is a crystal child. She's very much compassionate. She's very sweet. Nothing like me. But I had to learn patience with her, especially her being a Virgo. I'm a Sagittarius, and I cusp Capricorn, and my chart, the majority of my chart is Capricorn with Virgo placings here and there. I have to do my chart over again because I don't even know if I have any air or water in my chart. So patience, tolerance, and compassion really have been some tough lessons to do, but it is what it is. We all have to learn that, and that is, part of, growing as a spiritual person, and, trying to reach that enlightenment is, practicing compassion, and, especially us, who are, walking this path, of the twin soul path, where we're learning about self-love and self-respect, and, who you are as an individual, type of thing, and, really, self-reflection and learning a lot about yourself, and implementing these things that you have learned, so you can become wiser, type of thing. So it's kind of, I lost my train of thought here, but compassion, it's really, it's a rough lesson to learn and to thrive for. That was what my point was, because I don't think people really seek out to do that. People are very much concerned about themselves and how they feel, and what they're doing and what people are doing to them and how people are making them feel, type of thing, as if it's people's responsibility about how you feel and how you live your life. And that is the whole thing also with the twin soul path, and that I make sure that I say this very clearly, and I say it to those who seek me out for guidance. This is about you, and about what you're doing, you know, and how you're walking your path and how you're relating with your counterpart, you know, and how you think of your relationship with your counterpart, and you know what is happening in your relationship with your counterpart. It's all about you, because you and your counterpart are creating this. You know, nobody else is helping you create. It's just you and your counterpart. You know, and the more accepting people are of this, the easier the walk will be, because then you'll start learning more about yourself, start learning more about your counterpart, and you know what you're willing to tolerate, what you're willing to try to comprehend, so you can build that compassion towards your twin. But the main point is that you have to have the tolerance and the compassion for yourself. You know, I made it a point to say that 2016 was going to be the year of tolerance for me, and boy, did I learn tolerance. Oh man, so now for 2017, I said that this would be the year for me to learn compassion, to implement what I learned in all of 2016 and to start practicing that and living in compassion. And I must say that it's really tough. And I know that might sound like a very negative statement, but it's the truth. You know, it's tough to be compassionate towards other people when they're not compassionate with themselves, nor are they compassionate with you. It's tough to have any respect for people when you have no self-respect for yourself, you know, and they're just going about doing whatever they're doing, you know. And as a twin soul, you know, we're here, you know, to practice unconditional love, which equals compassion, you know, because you can't have unconditional love and not have compassion, and you can't be compassionate without unconditional love. It goes hand in hand, you know. So it's a very tough lesson to learn, you know, and people seem to be having a very rough time with it, you know, because I think it's really hard for them to accept that, you know, this walk is about self-love and self-realization, and you know, and what you're doing, you know, to better yourself, you know. And if practicing tolerance and compassion is something that you have not been doing, you know, then you know you're not really treating yourself with love, you know. And you have to, you know, because you can't be compassionate towards others if you're not compassionate towards yourself, you know. And by working with your heart chakra, because it's very important to always work on that heart chakra, you know, you will be learning tolerance, and you will eventually work your way up to the upper heart chakra, where you're going to be implementing that, and you know, living in life, you know, living in a compassionate way, you know. And compassion doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go out there and like start helping dozens of people and just like taking on all this stuff, and you know, and you can't even handle it. You're not being compassionate towards yourself, you know. Compassion, it's about, you know, really learning to understand yourself and why you're feeling the things that you're feeling. Why are you reacting the way that you're reacting? You know, why are you thinking the way that you're thinking? You know, you have to learn to step outside and really analyze what's going on within yourself. And once you're able to do that, then you could start doing that for the people in your world, especially your counterpart. You know, people, they love to use the terms, you know, runner and chaser. You know, my twin is running from me. You know, I chase my twin all the time, type of thing. And it's like, come on, drop those labels. You're not running, you're not chasing anything. It's a dance. You're learning about yourself. You're walking a path, and you and your twin are going to meet at the end of the path, you know, and you're going to merge together, and you're going to bring what you learned and what he learned or she learned, and you're just going to, you know, combine that type of thing. At least I like to think of it that way, you know, because it's easier, you know, instead of thinking that my twin hates me, you know, because I know I don't hate myself, you know. So for me to think that my twin hates me, or that, you know, he lives in fear all the time and stuff like that, you know, that's to say that I hate myself and that I live in fear all the time. And I don't. I love myself and I don't live in fear. You know, I face my fears. You know, sure, I may not want to deal with things. There is a difference, you know, but eventually we all have to, you know. It's our life. it's our world, and we as adults have to own up to our responsibilities type of thing, and that's where that understanding comes in, which leads to the compassion, and the more you understand yourself, the more you understand your twin, and you'll be able to step in your twin's shoes, and not perhaps, I don't know, because I have a hard time trying to view things, the way that he might be viewing things. It's really rough for me, because I just feel self-righteous, and that's ego, but I'm trying my best. That's the best that I can do, is just do my best to try to see the way he sees things, and I'm only hoping that he's trying his best to see things the way that I perhaps might be seeing them, and then from there, just learning, to see what is it that we are conceiving, like what are we creating here type of thing, and that's where that understanding comes in. That's been kind of very rough for me, because I tend to be very judgmental with myself, and very critical of myself, and kind of, I learned these things because I grew up with a Virgo mom, and my mom, to this day, she might still come off as very judgmental and critical, but I've learned to take things in stride with her, and then having a Virgo daughter who's 6 years old, and to see how she works, it's like, wow, like I have to teach her to be more positive, and so in turn it teaches me to be positive about myself, and to not be so critical and judgmental, because if I'm judging myself and criticizing myself, then I'm not being compassionate or understanding towards myself. So how in the hell would I be understanding or compassionate towards my counterpart, and being that we're the same sun sign, it's kind of rough, because I might think that I'm right and he might think that he's right, and we don't know, until we both talk, I guess, type of thing. But whatever, and that's where that compassion comes in, and I believe that once twins start practicing tolerance, and and really implementing that and trying to live in compassion, they get closer to being with their twin in this physical, in the physical, because I do feel that some twins are very much in 4D, I should say in 5D, and they're trying to bring that into the material, bring it down to this plane that we're in now, because a lot of us are in 4D, it's only the lower vibrations that are still in 3D type of thing, at least that's my opinion. So it's kind of tough, to bring yourself to that point where perhaps you can be practicing that compassion, and you have to do your best to try to do so. And so I'm here to say, working on your heart chakra will really help, learning to balancing it out, trying to understand others, and as to why they do the things that they do, and to really, step outside of yourself and drop ego and really understand that it's not just about you, it's about everything around you, because what you do affects everything. It's like a domino effect, so you have to try as an individual to live in compassion, so you're doing positive things and you're sending out positive energy and positive vibes out into the universe, so all this comes back and reflects back onto you, and you're living a positive life, and you're at peace and you're calm and you're not stressed out all the time type of thing, because that's the other thing too with some twins, when they're not living, not practicing with their heart chakra, not trying to understand, and they're just living in anxiety and in fear, then you're just living in this fear, and you're not doing anything to advance yourself further on your journey, on your path, because this is your path, this is it's your journey, it's your life, type of thing, and just trying to, live in compassion is really something that a lot, everyone should be striving for, even if you're not on the twin soul path type of thing, and you're just trying to reach, enlightenment. Living in compassion is the best way to go about this, and really trying to understand others, So working on your heart chakra will really help. Buying crystals and stones specifically for the heart chakra will, really, really help. I know I have a few stones. I don't have them in front of me right now, but one of them is a ruby and feldspar. That's a really good heart chakra stone. Of course, the rose quartz. Everybody is very well aware of that. I'm looking into getting a sphere of the rose quartz. So when I do meditations, I have that sphere, more as opposed to the tumble stones that I have and the rough cuts that I have. There's also the malachite. That's a very good stone to use. And I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so many good stones. All you gotta do is just go on Google, type in heart chakra, heart chakra crystals, and you'll have a plethora to choose from. And just let your intuition guide you, and into you getting whatever stone you need in order to open up that heart chakra of yours. Because the more you open up and the more you live in love, the more the compassion side is easier for you to practice type of thing. So doing your best to really understand where you are as a person will really help you understand where your twin is as a person. And the more you will start seeing that no one's really running or really chasing, and it's just more of a matter of living life, and experiencing it, and where you are on your journey, type of thing. Not that anyone's in a race, think of it as a game, like you're leveling up, that's what you're doing, and your heart chakra is like the main thing that you want to level up. You know what I mean? You want to master that, and once you do, I could only imagine life is a lot more beautiful, because that is one of the other hypotheses, I guess, or theories, more so, I think it's more so a hypothesis, that once we start working more, we start living through our heart chakra and really living in love, that the world changes, and you start viewing the world in a different way. Your eyesight changes, like everything changes around you, because you're living in love, and you're not living in your mind or, in fear, type of thing. Because the majority of us all live in fear, and then we let our mind get filled with anxiety and like all these paranoid thoughts and stuff, and then all that crap manifests, and it's like, another damn obstacle that you got to face, and that's all you're just projecting that out. You gotta learn how to live here within your heart and project that out, so your world changes immediately. And the more you practice this every day, the more you'll see your world does in fact change, and how much more at peace you will be, and how much more at peace you will be on the journey of the twin soul. So I hope this video is informative. I'm always here if you would like, to talk to me, or, perhaps want to book a reading, you could just inbox me. You could follow my channel, or subscribe to my channel, I should say. Everything is on my YouTube page there. You could just click on all the links, and it'll bring you to all my pages and the website and all that good stuff. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and do your best to live in love, and practice that compassion, and most importantly, have it with yourself. Namaste.